Pisces, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late July, early August 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as usual and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes into energy and see what's going on for the lovely Piscean collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous, my friends. Shuffle it up here one time and see what we got for the collective, my guides. Talk to us, Pisces. What do we got? And yes, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and get this first card going for the Pisceans. My gods, what do we got this week, please? All right, that card flipped in my hand and went back into the deck, so you know I only take jumpers. Okay, we do have this Alchemist, which is very much creative based. And I like when this card shows up, okay, specifically for water sign readings, because to me it is a big card of like focus, defining your focus as well. Big manifestation connections as well. That's an important card in my opinion. Before we really dive into it though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the August subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this Alchemist. I do generally link this to the Hermit in the tarot deck, very similar to that. So for some of you, this could really be highlighting a Virgo or someone with Virgo placements right here up in the front. But to me, if you look at the imagery here, we have this very serious alchemist. They have the alchemical symbol of the sun on their third eye, which to me indicates somebody who is either tapping into their spirituality or is illuminated in some sort of way, focusing on that potion, focusing on that creation. So in this time, you might be very much focused on something or someone. Maybe there's someone focused on you. But a big thing with this card, aside from gathering knowledge and illuminating oneself and connecting to spirituality, is that of really putting your energy towards what you want to create, what you want to manifest, what you want to bring into your life, right? You put it out there and then you put energy towards it. So this is a big card of creation, and I love whenever it shows up in a reading. Okay, but it could also go the other way. Like I said, maybe there's someone that has you under their focus. Let's get into tarot. And as you know, I always say that first card doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. I'm going to get you 3 of these in the upright, then we'll get that intuitive juiciness going. So shuffle it up here for the Pisceans, my gods. What do we got for Pisces, please? And while we get the deck ready, let's talk about last week's reading. I'll say this, Pisces, even if you've been going through tough times, the last 2 weeks we've had primo energy coming in for us. The Piscean collective, things have been moving towards a positive way for you. Regardless of what you may or may not have been going through, you could still harness those because that energy could still bleed over. Last week's reading was titled A Sudden Win. So if one hasn't come in for you, that could still very much happen where something swings your way suddenly. But let's see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're linked to. Hey, yeah, the cards are wanting to talk. Let's get you these first 3 cards out here. What do we got for Pisces? For those of you that are new here, I only read jumpers. Okay, we have the Queen of Pentacles, position number 1. That's a good start. That's a good sign. This is an energy that always reminds me of the Empress. So we will talk about her as we move along. Could be an earth sign connection. I did see Virgo with the Oracle card. Now we have Queen of Pentacles. We got the King of Pentacles. There's a big focus on the monetary here. We got the King and Queen. Are we going to get the whole family in this reading? I hope so. I love when we get the King, Queen, Page, Knight. Let's get one more out here. So I did see a reading this week where there was a lot of court cards, and this one might be the same. Okay, thank you. Okay, you're going to have a bonus here, but you also have the 8 of Wands on the back end of something possibly taking off, which would be good, and that kind of fits the bill with what we've been seeing in Pisces readings recently. But right here, as your bonus, you got the 5 of Cups. Someone might be a little in their feels when that card shows up. So let's go through. I'll give you a quick overview of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into the juicy intuitive messages. So at first look, first glance, super intriguing. We have the 2 Pentacle cards, the King and Queen chilling right there. The outer expression, the inner expression. Could be a big focus on the money or the earthly things, usually very planted, but then we have the Eight of Wands on the back end, fire, which could be taking off. To me, both of these cards are outer expression. Like, to me, when I see cups and swords, that represents the realm of the inner. These are cards of the outer world and outer expression and action. So let's go through one by one. Position number one, the Queen of Pentacles, like I was talking about a little earlier, could be an earth sign. We see that double showing up here. The queens represent the inner world. This is a very business savvy type of energy, especially with the king right next to it. This could easily represent somebody who is in pentacle mode, all about the money, the cheddar, the cheese, the scratch, the greenbacks, whatever you want to call it, the pounds, the rupees, whatever denomination you want to use. But the Queen of Pentacles, to me, she is very bountiful. She is a card of blessing. She is a card of abundance, very firm, very stable. So this is a very positive energy. I always call her the Empress Light. So all the similar archetypes of the Empress are encapsulated here. If this isn't a person, if this isn't a mother figure or an earth sign. So for some of you, that could be very good. Now, I always say too, every card has a bit of a double-edged sword. Right? So the Queen of Pentacles, whereas she has all this beautiful abundance and creation and wins and victories, all that stuff, she could also be a little stubborn or immovable, which is also what I find very interesting here, because we have two cards that could be very planted, very immovable, and then boom, something taking off on the back end. That's going to be interesting. Now, moving to the center, we have the King, the outer expression. So we have the inner, we have the outer. Now the King of Pentacles, when we have the King and Queen of the same suit in a spread, this could represent soul connections showing up here. Even if you don't have any earth, like prominent earth placements, right? You know me, I'm a Pisces rising. I think maybe I have one or two earth placements in my whole chart, but this could just be a mode you're stepping into. Now the King of Pentacles, very similar to that Queen, tons of business focus, tons of money focus, family focus, all that material stuff, all about the money, the business. So if that's not something you're focusing on, maybe Spirit is wanting you to focus. There could be situations involving things like that as well. But the King is more like making a budget, making a plan, controlling these material aspects. So not just passively, but putting action forth. So we have the inner of feeling something, the outer of expressing it. So taking action, making moves. And we see it here on the back end with the wands as well. So we'll just have to see when we clarify these what they could be about. Like I said, for some of you, this could easily just be representing a soul connection as well. But moving to the very back end, we have the Eight of Wands, one of my favorite cards in the whole entire deck. Looks like 8 arrows cutting through the sky, one of the fastest moving cards in the whole deck. So when we see this Eight of Wands, we think of a rocket taking off, something taking off. This is a big card of communication, messages, talks, getting one's feelings off their chest. So when I see this, I think of news incoming or going and conversations being had. But if we're talking about energetically moving, this is blasting like a rocket, and there's a lot of gains, there's a lot of actions, it's fiery and explosive. So we really want to see what's up with this Eight of Wands, because with all this focus in the beginning and that Eight of Wands on the back end, something could really take off for a lot of Pisceans. Now moving to the back end, we do have the Five of Cups. Whereas a lot of this looked very promising and positive, this Five of Cups is the River of Tears. So some of you might have something you're a little glum or gloomy about. There might be some inner sadness, inner depression, or something you're just a little sour about when this card shows up. If not you, this could be Spirit just saying, since this is another footnote card, that someone you're connected to is going through a bit of a rough time with the River of Tears here. So with all that being said, Pisces, I really want to dive deeper on this spread. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, we're going to get a good shuffle here. And yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Queen of Pentacles here. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Pisces, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Queen of Pentacles. Why is that Queen here? Thank you. Okay, yeah, someone's a little stressed out here with the Eight of Wands. Now we're seeing number signs and synchronicities showing up once again. This is a very common occurrence in Pisces readings. Okay, so the fact that we have 2 8s and then 2 of the core cards of the same suit, that is just something I need to point out, that a lot of you could be seeing the repeating numbers, omens, signs, synchronicities from spirit could be trying to lead you down a very specific path. But the 8 of Swords is the complete opposite of this 8 of Wands. Some of you might be feeling a little bogged down or a little trapped, a little cornered. To me, this is a big card of nervousness, anxiety, someone that could be quite stressed out. So when I see it under a card of the inner world, like the Queen of Pentacles, like in this time, you might be stressing about finances and money. Could just be life itself. But this tells me underneath this Queen that somebody is like really high strung and stressing something out in a very big way. Now, for a portion of you, I don't feel like this is completely necessary. Like, I feel like these stresses, although are valid, are going to resolve themselves with the way the rest of this spread is going. I really do feel that. For some of you, this could be something that's moving so slow, or there's not a lot of progress, not a lot of change, and that's bugging you in some sort of way. So let's just keep pressing forward. I think we get the point that internally somebody's going through something, right? Like with this in the front end, the 5 of Cups on the back end. Let's see what the King of Pentacles has to say. So let's go in. What's that King of Pentacles here? Thank you. Better. Okay, we have the 9 of Pentacles underneath the King of Pentacles. Some really good stability coming in here, my friends. This is a huge card of manifestation. This is a card of independence as well, like somebody needing to know or knowing that they can do something, right? Like when I see this, it's kind of freeing the way this goes, because remember I said this 8 of Swords is like very confined, feeling trapped. This 9 of Pentacles is like feeling free and feeling like big boss type of energy. This is a huge card of blessings, wins, and victories, the 9 of Pentacles. This is monetary abundance. And we have 6 cards out thus far. 3 of them are all about that money focus and monetary abundance. I feel like a lot of Pisceans should claim this, because the energetics of money could be swirling around the Pisces collective, and you could bring in that monetary abundance if that's something you care to bring in, right? Life isn't all about money. But when I see this, it's just abundance on abundance on abundance, blessings on blessings, victories on victories, and it feels good. Even though somebody might be feeling a little restrained, feeling a little back against the wall, something could break through, especially with what we have here on the back end. Like, because I feel it, like it's not comfortable here, getting more comfortable. Let's see what the 8 of Wands has to say. Then we'll do a recap, because it feels once again similar to like last week's reading, where something is picking up steam, picking up steam, picking up steam. Where it's starting slow, it's not moving much. Let's see what that 8 of Wands has to say. Thank you. Yeah, there it is. Another king. Outer expression, action. So if you've been wanting to make a move, take an action, like it's almost time to do it. We have the King of Wands underneath this 8 of Wands. Absolutely beautiful type of energy. I feel for a lot of you, you're going to put your energy in the right places. You're going to put your attention and focus in the right places. And if you do so, there could be an explosive victory or win coming down the pipeline for a lot of Pisces. So once again, this good energy is still here. Even though we have a little bit of roughness, even though we have a little bogged down energy in the beginning, this King of Wands here on the back end with the 8 of Wands is like, okay, I know where I want to go. I know what I want to do. I know what I'm putting my energy into. And to me, it just feels like a breakthrough. Once again, an explosive win or victory where it builds up, builds up, builds up, and then finally, boom, pushes through. If you stay on task. Now, remember, ever since the very beginning, it's been about focus, what you're focusing on, what you're putting your energy into. If you put it into the right things, I'm picking up a huge breakthrough for a lot of Pisceans, and it feels very good to me. Let's go through and do a quick recap. Of course, this could just represent a fire sign you're connected to, important conversation with them. But let's go through one by one. Lots of court cards here, lots of people. So you might be a little more popular than normal too. But in position number 1, before we get into the shadow card, we have the Queen of Pentacles with the 8 of Swords. Like I said, this could be somebody feeling trapped or cornered, feeling a little stressed out, back against the wall. It's very stress-inducing type of energy on the inside. We do have so many people, connections, lots of things happening here, but as we press forward, there's this big energy of abundance coming in for a lot of Pisces, where it starts a little uncomfortable, gets better. Big card of independence, so much material abundance just flowing through this reading. The energy is there for a lot of Pisces, especially in the independent realm, feeling or knowing that you could do something. Right? You could take the leap. You could do it. Okay, believe in yourself and move into the back end. This is where we see the breakthrough. This is where we see that breakthrough, that explosive victory or win, where if you continue to put your energy in the right places and put the right effort forth, whether it is in personal relationships, whether it is in money, whatever it is you're most focused on, you could see big leaps and gains there. And it's just showing up all over the place, where it starts like not moving into a slow build into that breakthrough. Please take a screenshot, my friends. I'm going to get you one shadow card here. Lovely reading. So it seems like the energy is still improving for a lot of Pisceans. Let's see what's in the shadows for you, though. My God, what we got in the shadows for Pisces here? And you know me, I always like to pull a shadow card at the end of every spread. I feel like it's a nice introspective thing to do, where we just look within for a moment, whether it's something within ourselves, something from the past, something we don't quite see. Shadow cards and shadow work, very important, in my opinion, as a reader. Okay. So we do have a card that kind of links in with what we've been seeing for the whole entire reading. We have the Magician in the shadows. Okay, so similar to that Alchemist, we do still have these spiritual ties, manifestation ties, creation ties, what you put your energy into. So it's like it's been a concurrent theme throughout this whole entire reading, Pisces, that what you put your focus into is what you're going to create, what you're going to bring in, especially if you're making action towards it. Now, the shadow side of the Magician, aside from that, can be a card of control. And I was picking this up in the Cancer reading too, sometimes water signs, and I could say, because I have a lot of major water sign placements myself, we tend to go with the flow. We tend to just take it as it comes, and we just go with the flow in life. This could be Spirit literally asking you to enforce your control on a situation, or control your outcomes, control your destiny, take it into your hands. Now, you can't control every single little thing, but you can try. You could damn sure try. And another thing with the shadow side of the Magician, watch out, protect your energy, make sure nobody's dabbling in any dark spiritual stuff like that. But the Magician could be Spirit asking you to protect yourself energetically. So Pisces, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the August subscriber surprise. For the August subscriber surprise, I'll be picking 3 winners for 3 different tarot decks. It will be a winner's choice this month. So if you want the Gilded Tarot, it's your choice. If you want the Witch's Tarot or anything under $40 US, 3 winners will be chosen. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments what you think is the best use for tarot. Speaking to spirit, shadow work, inner work, confusion, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, in August, I'll announce the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love. I'll see you soon.